Hard work is overrated unless you know how to direct it. Some people work day and night, pushing themselves, sacrificing sleep, missing birthdays and family dinners, and yet they stay stuck. Their lives look the same year after year. Meanwhile, there's another group of people. They seem to leap ahead, achieving more with less struggle, less burnout, and less time. Why is that? It's not always about working harder. It's about knowing how to think differently. They're the reason why the world's most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders talk about the power of mental models. Tony Robbins, one of the greatest coaches in personal development, says, "It's not the lack of resources, it's your lack of resourcefulness." Brian Tracy, another legend in personal growth, shares, "Clarity is the starting point of all success." These two voices have guided millions because they know that success starts inside your mind. It's about how you see the world, how you make choices, and how you keep moving forward even when everything feels impossible. Today, we're diving into 12 mental models that separate the average from the extraordinary. These mental models aren't theories you memorize and forget. They're powerful ideas that shape how you see problems, take action, and create opportunities. Some might shock you. Some might go against what you've heard your whole life. But each one has the power to change how you work, how you dream, and how you build your future. Imagine shifting from endless hustle to purposeful action, from doubt to confidence, from scattered energy to laser focus. Because here's the truth, the people you look up to, the ones building businesses, creating art, leading movements, they're not superhuman. They've just learned to think differently. So ask yourself, what if the only thing keeping you stuck is the way you see the world? And what if changing your mental models could be the key to unlocking the life you've been working so hard for? Some of these ideas have helped legends like Phil Knight, Walt Disney, Howard Schultz, and Ed Sheeran transform their lives. These aren't fairy tales, they're real stories of people who learn to think beyond just hard work. So let's dive in, because the next few minutes might change how you see everything. Hard work matters, but without the right decisions behind it, hard work can become just exhaustion. Tony Robbins says, "The quality of your life is the quality of your decisions." Think about that for a second. It's not the money you have or the connections you were born with. It's your choices, the small ones and the big ones, that carve your path. Brian Tracy echoes this idea. Almost any decision is better than no decision. Here's the truth. Indecision is a silent thief. It quietly steals your time, your energy, and your future. Every day you wait, opportunities walk right past you. This is why deciding fast, even when you're not 100% sure, is one of the mental models that separates extraordinary people from everyone else. Mel Robbins, another voice in personal growth, says, "Sometimes you just need 5 seconds of courage." She built her entire life-changing method, the 5-second rule, on this simple idea. Don't overthink. Just move. Look at Phil Knight, the co-founder of Nike. He was working as an accountant. Safe job. Stable salary. But he couldn't shake the idea of selling running shoes from Japan. Instead of overthinking for years, he just decided. He imported 300 pairs of sneakers. That single choice grew into a global brand worth billions. This leads us into another mental model of the extraordinary, creating irresistible offers. Tony Robbins teaches, people don't buy products. They buy feelings and certainty. Brian Tracy adds, you must create value so great that people feel foolish to say no. That's the same philosophy that built entire empires. Chick-fil-A doesn't have to beg people to buy chicken sandwiches. They just make a sandwich people crave. Colonel Sanders is another example. He got rejected over 1,000 times trying to sell his fried chicken recipe. People thought he was crazy, but he knew his offer was good enough that eventually someone would say yes. Today, KFC has thousands of locations worldwide. His secret? He created something so tasty, so unique, that saying no felt foolish. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, says it best, small changes can make your product impossible to refuse. Even tiny tweaks can turn a maybe into a heck yes. But knowing how to make offers isn't enough. You also need to understand the power of volume versus intensity. Tony Robbins says, repetition is the mother of skill. Brian Tracy explains, if you want to achieve anything worthwhile, you must do it again and again. It's easy to think you need to work smarter, not harder. But the truth is you have to do both. Smart strategies plus massive action over and over again. Mel Robbins puts it like this: courage isn't a feeling. It's a habit you build every day. Howard Schultz, the man behind Starbucks, is proof. He visited Italy and fell in love with the idea of coffee as an experience. Instead of opening one cozy cafe and calling it a day, he scaled that idea into thousands of stores worldwide. Same product, same idea, repeated everywhere. That's volume plus smart execution. Then there's another crucial mental model: investing in your learning budget. Tony Robbins says, mistakes are gifts if you capture the lesson. Brian Tracy teaches, think of every loss as tuition you pay to learn. James Clear reminds us, the cost of inaction is almost always higher than the cost of mistakes. Think of Walt Disney. Early in his career, he faced bankruptcy more than once. People told him his dreams were silly, but he treated each failure as tuition, lessons that eventually helped him create one of the most powerful entertainment brands on earth. Here's the truth: learning is expensive, but ignorance costs more. Every single person who built something extraordinary paid for mistakes. The difference is, they saw those mistakes as investments, not losses. As Tony says, indecision is like standing in the doorway while opportunity walks past you. So ask yourself, are you spending your time stuck in hesitation, or moving forward, learning and adjusting as you go? Because every decision, every offer you craft, every action you repeat, is either building your extraordinary life or keeping you stuck. And that's exactly why the next mental models might be the missing piece you've been searching for. Working hard is important, but working hard on the wrong things, that's the fastest way to stay stuck. Tony Robbins says, where focus goes, energy flows. Brian Tracy teaches, concentration is the key to economic results. Here's what that means: the extraordinary don't spread themselves thin. They focus on doing fewer things, but they do them better than anyone else. Carol Dweck, the world-renowned psychologist behind the growth mindset, says, people with a growth mindset stay focused longer because they see challenges as opportunities. It's not about chasing every shiny new idea. It's about locking onto one vision and driving it forward with relentless commitment. Take Reed Hastings, the founder of Netflix. People forget that Netflix started out mailing DVDs. Everyone was talking about streaming way before it was practical. But Reed didn't jump at the first sign of new tech. He waited. He focused. And when the time was right, he pivoted Netflix into streaming and changed the entire entertainment industry. That's focus before innovation. But focus isn't just about what you do. It's also about how people see you. That's why another mental model of the extraordinary is building authority and brand. Tony Robbins says, brand is an emotional shortcut to trust. Brian Tracy teaches, positioning determines your income. Jim Rohn, another giant in personal growth, put it this way: for things to change, you have to change. Your brand is your reputation. It's how people feel when they hear your name or your business's name. Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, understood this deeply. He didn't build Walmart just to sell stuff cheap. He built a brand around saving customers money. That message was so powerful, it turned a single store into a worldwide empire. Your brand speaks before you do. It either opens doors or keeps them shut. And this ties into one of the most critical mental models of all, recognizing fat pitches. Tony Robbins says, when life hands you a fat pitch, swing hard. Brian Tracy warns, most people never see big opportunities because they're too busy with small things. Carol Dweck connects this perfectly to mindset. A growth mindset helps you recognize fat pitches others miss. So what exactly is a fat pitch? It's a moment in life where an opportunity is so good, so perfectly aligned, that if you miss it, you might never see it again. Magic Johnson, the NBA legend, is a perfect example. After retiring from basketball, he could have just coasted on his fame. Instead, he spotted a fat pitch, investing in urban development, movie theaters, and Starbucks franchises in underserved neighborhoods. He leveraged his brand and timing to build a business empire worth hundreds of millions. But here's the problem. Most people miss their fat pitches because they're frozen by indecision. Tony Robbins says, indecision is the thief of opportunity. Brian Tracy adds, the time to act is when your heart says yes. Jim Rohn warns, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's. Every moment you sit on the fence, waiting for certainty, costs you time you'll never get back. Sarah Robb O'Hagan, a powerhouse in the fitness industry, left a high-ranking role at Nike to launch Flywheel, a cycling startup. People thought she was crazy. Why leave a giant like Nike for a risky new venture? But she saw the fat pitch boutique fitness was about to explode. Her timing was perfect, and her leap paid off. Indecision often feels safe, but it's the most dangerous place to live. Because while you're waiting, someone else is acting. Fat pitches rarely knock twice. So ask yourself, are you running in circles, busy but unfocused? Or are you narrowing your energy into the few things that really matter? Are you building a brand people trust? Are you ready to swing when life throws you the perfect pitch? Because extraordinary people don't just work hard. They work hard on the right things, and they strike fast when their moment comes. And that's why the next mental models might just show you how to keep scaling once you found your moment. Big dreams are exciting, but dreams don't build themselves. Extraordinary people know you can't do it all alone. Tony Robbins says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Brian Tracy agrees, no one achieves great success alone. Les Brown, one of the most powerful motivational speakers of all time, reminds us, other people's insights can save you decades. This is the first mental model of the extraordinary in this chapter, building teams of elite people. You might have big ideas, but without the right people beside you, you're limited by your own time, energy, and knowledge. Ed Sheeran, the global music superstar, didn't rise to the top by himself. Yes, he played hundreds of tiny gigs, but he also built a team of producers, songwriters, and managers who shared his vision. They helped him polish his music, expand his reach, and turn raw talent into worldwide success. Great teams amplify your power. And this connects deeply to the next mental model, thinking long-term. Tony Robbins says, most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Brian Tracy adds, think long-term, act short-term. Brendan Burchard, high-performance coach, says, you don't become extraordinary overnight. It's consistency over time. Here's what they all mean. Average people focus only on quick wins. Extraordinary people keep their eyes on a horizon far beyond the next few months. Jeff Bezos is a perfect example. In the early days of Amazon, investors complained because he wasn't turning big profits fast enough. But Bezos ignored the noise. He planned decades ahead, willing to sacrifice short-term gains for long-term dominance. Today, Amazon is one of the biggest companies in the world because Bezos thought in decades, not quarters. Long-term thinkers accept that big results take time, but they stay relentless anyway. Then comes a powerful mental model that protects extraordinary people from wasting time and money, investing only in what they deeply understand. Tony Robbins says, the best investment is in yourself and your strengths. Brian Tracy explains, stay in your circle of competence. Think of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He built a career on knowing his strengths. He didn't try to be a ballet dancer or opera singer. He leveraged his deep knowledge of bodybuilding into movie stardom and eventually politics and business. He invested his energy only in areas where he knew he could excel. Extraordinary people bet big, but only when they know the game. And that leads to the final mental model in this chapter, the power of massive volume. Tony Robbins teaches, repetition is reputation. Brian Tracy adds, the more value you give, the more value you get. Brendan Burchard explains, those who dominate platforms win. You might think putting out one perfect piece of content or one perfect pitch is enough. But extraordinary people know that volume builds momentum. Richard Branson is the ultimate proof. He didn't just start one company and call it a day. He launched hundreds of Virgin brands, music, airlines, trains, health clubs, even space travel. His relentless creation of new ventures kept his brand alive and relevant for decades. Gary Vaynerchuk, a modern content giant, produced hundreds of videos for Wine Library before anyone noticed. Now he dominates social media because he outproduces everyone else. Here's the truth. The extraordinary don't rely on luck. They rely on numbers. The more you put yourself out there, the more chances you have to win. Tony Robbins puts it perfectly, repetition is reputation. The world can't trust you, remember you, or buy from you if they never hear from you. So ask yourself, are you trying to create the perfect move, or are you showing up every day, building momentum brick by brick? Are you surrounding yourself with people smarter than you? Are you willing to think beyond the next 12 months? Are you investing your energy where you have real knowledge and skill? And are you flooding the world with so much value that people can't ignore you? Because if people don't know you exist, it doesn't matter how good you are. And all of this means nothing if you don't turn these mental models into real action. 12 mental models. 12 ways of thinking that stand between an average life and an extraordinary one. Tony Robbins reminds us, your destiny is shaped in your moments of decision. Brian Tracy adds, decide what you want, and then act as if it were impossible to fail. That's the heart of it all. This isn't about working until you collapse. It's about working with precision. About knowing where to focus your energy, when to act boldly, and how to build something bigger than yourself. Look back at the stories we shared today. Phil Knight didn't wait for perfect conditions. He made a decision and took a small step that led to Nike. Colonel Sanders faced over 1,000 rejections, but he believed his offer was irresistible. Howard Schultz saw a vision in Italy and scaled it into Starbucks by repeating the same experience everywhere. Walt Disney turned bankrupt dreams into an empire by treating every failure as a lesson. Reed Hastings didn't chase trends. He waited until the world was ready for streaming. Sam Walton built Walmart on the power of a simple brand message: save people money. Magic Johnson leveraged his brand and perfect timing to transform his business life after basketball. Sarah Robb O'Hagan left a giant like Nike to seize her fat pitch in boutique fitness. Ed Sheeran built a team around his talent so his music could reach millions. Jeff Bezos ignored the critics because he was playing a decades-long game. Arnold Schwarzenegger invested in what he knew best, his own unique strengths. Richard Branson and Gary Vaynerchuk flooded the world with volume, knowing that more swings mean more home runs. The people who build extraordinary lives aren't luckier or smarter. They simply think differently. They move fast when others freeze. They keep going when others quit. They see learning where others see failure. And they refuse to let indecision steal their future. Tony Robbins says, it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. And Brian Tracy reminds us, you become what you think about most of the time. So here's the question that matters. Which mental model will change your life first? Because even one shift in how you think could change your path forever. If this video gave you fresh ideas, or if it lit a spark inside you, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the like button, and sharing it with someone you care about. Drop a comment below and tell us which mental model you're most excited to try. Writing it out makes it real, and your words might inspire someone else who's watching. Remember, hard work alone won't get you there, but hard work fueled by the right mental models can make you unstoppable. Stay inspired, stay focused, and keep building the extraordinary life you deserve.
Hey, incredible growth seekers. Wow, what a journey. If this video resonated, subscribe now for more life-changing content. Join our community of self-improvers. Smash that like button to fuel more content on mindfulness, goal setting, and emotional intelligence. Share this video to create a ripple of positive change. Comment below about your growth journey. Your insights shape our content. Next week, boosting self-confidence and overcoming limiting beliefs. Don't miss it. Every interaction brings us closer to a world of empowered individuals. Let's make personal development global. Stay inspired, keep growing. Your best self awaits. Let's unlock it together.